this. I'm just kind of waiting to see if on my stream here, if I need like a reboot or something. Oh, there we go. So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't streaming. Maybe I was. I have no idea. All right, so let's keep looking at the stack size issue. So I'm gonna build this. I think what I want to do is comment this out and put a let's make these doubles. Oh wait, these have to be floats because I'm pushing it to a vector 3D. Okay. Thing there, all right. Put the tablet back in. Right, so I'm trying to throw a whole stack in right now, and it is messing up. Why is it messing? Because it's saying the instance is null for get stack size. The instance is null. Why would the instance for this be null? See, this is what I was talking about. It just kind of like hovers there. Whoa. So cool, bro. Hey, Spetsy. So I think it's in here. See, I'm not really doing anything with like a get stack size here. I'm creating a new item stack based on this amount, unless this whole thing. Okay, what if I do this? This dot API dot side is server. All right, let's put this in an if statement. And really, I don't want is server. I want is client. And then let's go into here, and I can say this or return. Right. So, the only thing maybe it's null because I am trying to look at it from the hey everyone. I'm trying to look at it from the client when the server. This may be server authoritative. Hey Odur, how's it going? You're streaming, yeah! Hey Vexus, I was streaming before. Apparently, like my stream had messed up. Did that do it? Son of a bitch. Did that do it? Wait a minute. Eject. So I have 15 rust crystals. Let's get rusty dust. And let's get shifting fibers. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I guess I will go over a couple things now that people are here. I got some big changes. So it looks like that was fine. Hold on. So I got 64. All right, how much are these now? 14 and 62. You could throw in bulk stack sizes now. Woo! Bam! And there it is. It falls out of the portal. Pop a couple particles there. I could have like a particle explosion when it creates an item. Oh, let's mark that down. Let's mark that down. Don't forget. It'll be the next thing to do. Trigger particle explosion when successfully creating something in the thalamic boundary. Yeah. Good, just got home from Trader Joe's. I hear the Trader Joe's chicken is really good. We don't have a Trader Joe's around here. Oh, I just got done with work, so I'm home and doing some Horse VS stuff. Yeah! Then I'll be doing some Wyvern stuff tonight. Is VS, yeah. So you're moved. You're doing good. Doing well. I right now. I'll go over some of the stuff. There are three big things that I'm doing with the mod. The first thing is I'm pretty much redesigning the mod again. I'm moving away from a grid crafting system, and I want you to interact with things in the world more. So no grid crafting, very little grid crafting, and very little GUIs for you to like go into. So the way the new loop is going to start here is you are going to unlock magic like you normally would, and then the first thing you can do is create a wand. It's going to be not made with like your grid crafting, your personal crafting. It's going to be more like you pick up a stick, you get a rusty dust, you imbue that, or a torch. I think I'm going to do like a torch, and then you imbue it with a rusty dust to make like an arc light rod, and then from there you can insert like 5 mana to turn it into your wand. Right, so you get that like right away, and your wand is going to have all the innate spells on it. And then what you'll do is, when you get that achievement, I'm actually going to have achievements lock some of the content for your progression. Right, so when you unlock that, you get transmutation, and then you can clay form your Thaumic Foundry. Put like the rod in, right? It's going to be placed in the world. You'll cast transmutation with your wand. Bam, you have your Thaumic Foundry. When you create this, it will unlock creating these tablets and a handful of other things too, right? In the tablets, you'll be able to make like your rift anchors and everything. It's basically, right, you put it in, portal pops up, you can see exactly what you need. Throwing in the wrong items, right, it can trigger status effects, like I just got mana burned because I did that, right? So there's going to be a little bit of teeth. It's mainly going to be rust sickness or mana burn that you could trigger. You have a chance of triggering, putting wrong things in the portal, right? But this is going to be how what you do, and then right away, pretty easily you'll be able to get some magic chalk, and then you'll be able to do rituals, right? So you'll be able to get your sigil, create your obelisk. But for tier 1, you're only going to have the obelisk. You're only going to have neutral essence. So I'm going to be relying on feedback to maybe buff some of the stats. And I'm thinking about making this to where you could directly cast transmutation on it to maybe trickle charge with essence as well, right? And then from there, you will clay form the next thing, which is going to be the Arc Light Furnace. And that is going to be basically what the Essence Infusion is here. You're going to be able to link it up with an Essence type. In the beginning, it's just going to be the Obelisk for Tier 1. And what you'll do is it'll have like arcane flames. It's going to look like a brazier. And you'll be able to throw like the rustic compounds directly into it, and it will consume it and then start chugging it, processing it. And then as it's burning the ash, it will have a chance to also create primordial fragments, right? So this is going to be a passive way to kind of like get the essence that you're going to need a lot of, and primordial fragments as well. And maybe some other things. You're going to have upgrades as well. So over here, you'll notice that I have other slots. You'll be able to put like mage candles in, and what those will do is increase the maximum storage, because each tablet's going to have like a certain amount of charge that it's going to take to create the item. I'm playing with the idea of like other blocks to put in, right? But you'll be able to like physically put things in here. There's no GUI, right? So you're going to place things in the different slots in the world. And then from there, right, like once you make the obelisk, like the Arclight Forge opens up for you, and right away the Spell Forge. And again, to make these items, you're going to clay form. And then maybe add like 1 or 2 like items or blocks to that clay form piece, and then cast transmutation. So I'm allowing you to get into crafting things faster, having it be more engaging. You'll have transmutation right away, and you're gonna be doing more than just, oh, I need Unga Bunga sticks. You're gonna be charging, like using your mana as a resource going forward. And then, you know, you get into the Spell Forge, which again, it's going to be this right here. You're going to put your magic chalk down. You know, you're going to research the same way, the way it currently is after the last update. So you'll have, you know, higher chance of success. And then, you know, you'll be able to create your Oculus pretty fast. Right? So you should be able to get into spells and stuff a lot faster, and it should be more fun and engaging this way. I got to go for like 20 minutes. I'll be back, hopefully see more of your stream. Gonna eat with the kiddos. All right. Sounds good. Oh, the other thing, for everyone else who's still here, you'll notice that when I have a staff in my hand, there's a new heads-up display. So you can't right-click anymore. You can't sneak and right-click to open up that menu. It's gone. What you can now do is hold sneak and then scroll up and down to change your spell dynamically. Each staff has a certain number of spell slots, so this one's 2, 4, and 6. It corresponds with your grimoires here. If you go to cast a spell, right, you're on slot 6, and you put the apprentice staff in your hand, you'll see it gives you an error. Spell slot's not available on this staff, right? So you could pop back to Fireball if you want. So everything is a lot more dynamic now. The way the new spells are going to be laid out and how fast, and like the new spell schools and stuff, the boss fights, I want you to be cycling through some spells, and just opening up a menu was not the way to do it. You needed a way to like quickly pick the spell that you want, right? You know, hit with that. You know, start casting Fireball right away. Dargly, yay! I'm always here. Boom! Right? So, I think this new progression, it's going to feel pretty good. Again, the Devouring Void and the Celestial Prism are going to be Tier 2 unlocks. With Tier 2, you're going to be able to, of course, expand the Arclight Furnace to start burning and getting the other essences. But I guess, fuck that guy. Love it. So yeah, this is the new approach. This is the new approach. I think it's gonna be freaking sweet. I think it's gonna be sweet. It's gonna feel good. Feel good. I keep telling myself that. All right. So now that I fixed that, and what I'm gonna have to do is propagate this code over to the Oculus now that it can accept more things. Possibly. I may still restrict it in the Oculus. Yo, what happened to the stream? What, did the stream go down again? Ricker Loper. Is Twitch being terrible today? Is that what I'm running into? Twitch being a punk? All right. Let's continue with the new item that I want to make, the Arclight Rod. I'm thinking it should be like a torch and rusty dust. Maybe you use those together with mana. Oh, what happened before I just got back? I have no idea. Twitch blew up. I had to shut down Streamlabs and come back. For a while, I think I was streaming and it just wasn't live. Like, it looked live, but it wasn't. I love the portal. I love this thing. Yeah. And if you pull it out, it like everything will like explode out. I can't. This is feeling good. So what I also need to consider though is, how are you going to make these tablets here? Because I kind of have a chicken and egg scenario. And just for a heads up, I got maybe about 10 more minutes before I gotta go. I gotta go a little early today. But you know, like I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this, right? Because you need to be able to make enchanted stone. But I don't want enchanted stone to be made in the Thaumic Foundry because you need so much of it. I want it to be something that you can mass produce like in here with like neutral essence, right? Possibly. I don't know. But you know, it's like you need to be able to get enchanted stone, but you need the enchanted stone to create the tablet. But you'll need the tablet to, you know what I mean? So I gotta figure that out. I'm thinking, now one thing I could do is I could get a blank tablet, right? Like the enchanted stone, possibly a blank, just like a blank tablet. And then when you get that tablet, you can chisel it. Possibly, you know, this is a difficult thing, right? Because like I could treat them like molds. So let's get this. Where's that rack, right? Because I want these like rackable, right? So you can get like a mold rack here. But you know, let's put that there, right? So you'll be able to store your tablets in this rack. But that means that these have to be a block, right? 'Cause I think these are blocks. Tool mode. All right, so I gotta figure out how you would get enchanted stone. Maybe an early way to get it. I would like to have you burn something here and just like get a bunch of it this way. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know. Enchanted stone is something you need in such huge batches that I'd be wary of making it any harder to get that than it is now. It's not really that it's going to be harder. Like, I want you to batch create getting enchanted stone. Like, yeah, you do use it a lot for a lot of things. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, well, do you make a tablet to create enchanted stone, and maybe the initial tablet here is just a stone mapped recipe? You know what I mean? Like, do I separate things out? Although if it's just regular stone, anyone could nap a tablet, right? Or do I make it to where, like, in the beginning you can get enchanted stone, but you know, maybe you can place regular stones that are placed around rifts. Maybe those can become enchanted stones. You know what I mean? Like, is that the solution here? For the initial, like, you know, you get it in passing, you get a couple, and then you can make your tablet here, and then just, you know, throw in the quantities that you need. Or do I wait, right? And I say, okay, well, get magic chalk, right? Because I can also change this to where in the beginning you don't need enchanted stone for anything, right? Like, I can have it to where you have, heard a plunk outside. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I can have it to where, like, you know, you get up to this point without ever needing enchanted stone. And then I can give you enough to where, like, yeah, you place stones around a rift and it has a chance of turning it into enchanted stone, just to give you, because you only need 2 to start napping, right? And you can make your magic chalk, which would, you know, you would need enough to make the tablet for magic chalk, and then to come over here to get to nap out your sigil. So that would be another, well, that would be 3 technically, right? Because you only need 1 to nap, and then 4 to make your block, and then a chisel, right? Because that's going to be the catalyst for this. You make this, you clay form this, so that doesn't take any more enchanted stone. We're talking about you needing like maybe 10 enchanted stone altogether to get started. Until you get to here, And then what you could do is be like, yeah, you know what? Connect it right to the furnace. I can transmutation charge this in the beginning to get it going, throw some items in as I get them for better effect. And then bam, I throw in regular stones of any kind and it starts sucking them up and burning them into enchanted stone in mass quantities. Right? I throw them in, just item throw them in, it eats them all, walk away, come back, grab my stacks, grab the extra primordial fragments that I'll be generating as well. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's going to be the better way. You know what I mean? To do things. Or you make your own version of rack. It could even store much more slabs rather than only those few. Yeah. You're not going to have that many slabs. Like, if anything, like, if for tier 1... yeah, you're basically 2 of these should be all the slabs that you'll need, maybe. Because right now, you'll be able to make both rift anchors, right? Magic chalk. Mage weave, I'm not sure. That one, let's put some question marks in front of. I think I'm gonna keep that grid crafting, because you're literally weaving fibers, right? You don't need to, you mass produce it that way. That's why I said almost all grid recipes will go. Anything where it's like, you know, along with the base game of like, yeah, cobblestone enchanted stairs, right? Needing mortar and the stones around. You'll still be able to do that. Everyone can make those. Looks like I got magic chalk in here twice. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... maybe about 7 items. If I want to throw in the runic scroll, right? Runic scroll 1. And possibly the... I think what I want to do this time is make a blank grimoire. Instead of like the leather and everything, everything being in the Oculus, I want you to have like the books, right? And just throw in the book, and then, you know, whatever the exotic things are. I that makes me feel a little better. And then I don't want to have armor. I'm reserved, right? So maybe down here I could do like add 3 for armor. All right, so what does that come up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could 2 of these for all the tier 1 stuff. I think that's fine, right? I think that's all right. And then over here, right, is going to be the reagents that you would need to get huge batches of. So your essence ash, your enchanted stone. Although if I do this right, you may not need. Well, you still will, right? Because you're going to have to build multi-block structures. But you know what I mean, right? Like, so the items that you just kind of process once, like burn it once through, would be in here. So you could set it and forget it. This one's going to be a little more interactive. You know, your Arcanuses and whatnot. I think going forward, Arcanus is going to be tier 1. And then the tier 2 version of Arcanus is going to be Chimerite. And then tier 3 will be something else. But I think I want to move away from like redundancies I have in the mod. And redundancies as in like Arcanus. To make regular Arcanus, okay. I could see it. I could see it maybe needing two of these crystals, and then maybe not as much rusty dust and shifting fibers. You know what I mean? Like maybe a compound, or it's kind of change this a little bit. But you know, the tier 2 shouldn't be a duplicate, right? Just bigger things. Or then tier 3 is the biggest yet, right? Like I don't want things to kind of work like this. I want to break up these repeating patterns. Like, for instance, what the reason why I want you to have only the obelisk in the tier 1 is, well, mainly because the spells that you have access to are going to be only general spell schools. It's going to be maybe 18 different 18 different grimoires you can make. but you get into it faster. You'll have some utility. I want to add the dig spell, so you'll have utility that way to be able to mine with your magic to some degree. And then tier 2 is going to bring about the different spell schools, right? So you'll be able to make your the item that you put onto a tune, and then you'll be able to make those grimoires, and the spells are going to be more compact and more meaningful because you're going to be only tier 2 and 3, right? You're not stretching effects 3 or 4, you know, dividing by 3 or 4. You know, and then let's like, okay, you're used to getting regular Essence Ash, right, for the neutral stuff. Now in tier 2, you can make the Celestial Prism and the Devouring Void, right? So now you can make 2 new things, right? 2 new Essence Ashes, and then those 3 Essence Ashes plus, you know, maybe an Arcanus in there kind of wrapped around gives you Chimerite, right? Which is the tier 2 version of Arcanus, right? So it's breaking it up, right? Introducing new things, you use some of the old. That's what I'm trying to do. You're doing such a good job, Voice! Oh, thanks. Thank you. But yeah. Yep. This is it. This is it. New version of the mod's gonna be awesome. But I just gotta figure some stuff out here. Right now, crafting the proto wand is going to be a top, like it's gonna be your pickaxe, right? It's gonna be your main tool for interacting. Loving speed of the spell selection, by the way. Yeah. Magic combat is gonna feel so much better with this. And it's needed. It was absolutely needed. Because if I pull up, I'll go back over a little sneak peek of the spell ideas and how things are going to be separated out. But, right, you're going to have the innate spells are going to live in the wand now. And it's going to be the same thing, right? The proto wand will be tier 1. You'll be able to take that proto wand and imbue more of your mana into it to get, like, the next tier, whatever I call it. And that's going to have the better transmutation and abscission. And then tier 3 is going to just, you know what I mean? So you'll have progress there, but you're not going to put this thing in a crafting table, right? You're going to take a core, take your old wand, right? You maybe combine it with some bone. You know what I mean? Like I want you to interact and use your mana as a resource. But for like evocation, you know, I want you to be able to flip between these different spells, and then Daze, Root, Fear, right, Crowd Control. You know, Incantation, you know, you're gonna be switching to Dispel, you're gonna want to do your Siphon attack, you know, Temporal Funnel to replenish temporal stability from people around you, you know, Gift of the Magi, right, to give people, you know, mana, like directly transfer mana to them. Oh, it's some of my... I'll go over some of my spell ideas, and then I think I'll call it here. So I thought it would be cool to add something like Runic Momentum. So, like, casting spells when you move will, like, increase their power. So for evocation mages, like, if you are moving, your spells hit harder. I think that would be pretty awesome for, like, a buff to put on. Alteration. I'm not sure. For Healing Surge, I think I want to do something where, like, if you are in a certain light level, it will kick on, like, a regeneration. But maybe... I'm still kind of iffy about that one. I want to put in Twilight Veil, which will grant night vision. Weather Call, which is going to be a movement speed increase during just rain or storms. Elemental Mantle is going to be the big thing for Alteration, because everything has, like, the elemental variant spells. Alteration did not. So basically, you'll be able to put, like, the Fire Elemental Mantle on, and it will make, like, fire attacks hit harder, but you'll take extra water damage. right? So it's another way to like beef and buff people up. And then Verdant Pact, standing near plants could slowly regenerate health and stamina. So I think some of that stuff would be cool utility. Sanguine Touch would of course be a life tap. Every time you damage something, you get healed for a certain amount. Wraith Walk would be pretty much a fly spell, but it's really, really slow. I want to set your transparency to low as well, so you're kind of see-through, and I'll let you directly like go through walls. Tide Runner, swim speed increase is a long time coming, and then Whispering Void. Basically, you'll cannibalize your health and or your sanity and or both to pretty much have regeneration, like without meditating. And then this one I thought was cool, Essence Trail. So basically, you could put this buff on you, and then it leaves particle effects for like 5 minutes or so. So you could, like, if you're lost, if you're playing on a server like I've done, and they don't have the map or anything, and you are completely lost in this big-ass forest trying to find your way out, but you keep getting circled and like going around, and you don't know, you can't see the sun or anything. You could put this buff, use this buff, and it will leave a trail that you could follow. Or if you're gonna go out exploring and someone's gonna catch up, you can leave a particle trail. I thought that would be a pretty neat utility spell. Summoners they're kind of coming into their own. They're gonna get the barrier buff for protection. They're gonna have runes for attacks. Of course, they'll have all of these summon things. I'm actually gonna make the weapon version, like summon fire weapon and stuff. It's not just gonna be ultimate weapons anymore. And Summoner Soul is pretty much like the World of Warcraft health cookie. I want them to make full sets of armor, temporary armor as well. And magic staves too. That may specifically be better at casting a specific kind of spell or two, but again, temporary. So I'm thinking this is pretty good. And what I also want to add in, on top of all of this stuff, and I may have gone over this a couple days ago, but it makes me happy, so I want to do it again. Oh, hold on one second. Boom. All right. I got 5 minutes, y'all. Got 5 minutes. So the thing I was going to go over here is the summon elemental system. The more I kick this idea around, the more I like it. I don't know when you're going to be able to unlock these. I don't know if it's going to be a tier 2 unlock, if it's going to be a tier 3 mage unlock. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe tier 2. I feel like it could be a pretty solid tier 2 unlock. But I'm also unlocking magic schools, so maybe tier 3 would be better. But being able to, like, absorb the essence from creatures, creating a block, right, with a ritual, and then using that, like, totem, for lack of a better word, to use, like, get the new summoner staff. and then have like the ability to create a totem for like, you know, a tree ant totem or a skeletal totem, or, you know what I mean, like an elemental, you know, fire elemental totem or whatever it is, and then be able to like create it in the world, and then have it to where you would be like each minion you have will decrease your maximum mana by, so that's the trade-off, right? You will be able to cast less spells because your mana pool is smaller, but you will have like a minion, you know, that kind of like lives in the world. I'm not gonna go over all this stuff, but yeah, I really like the sound of that. It'd be even better if like I can make minions that you could mount and then use as a mount. But yeah. All right, everyone. Good stream. I am very glad that this is fixed. Being able to just like bulk throw things in. Oh, you son of a bitch! It's doing the same thing. I don't get it. Get it. Then I move 14 items. I guess it's not fixed. This is bullshit. Like, it's gotta be a difference between the client and the server. If the stack size is null. Or it's trying to send a packet, right? Get instance, get size. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna assume everything is working, right? Because I'm doing a basic summon item kind of thing. It'll probably be fixed in time for 1.21. Right? It's gotta be that. It's gotta be that. I don't see how it could be my mod. I'm literally spawning the item entity the same way the game's doing it. But I wonder if it's just getting like inundated with things. I don't know. Either way, it's a quick thing. I'm not sure if anyone would even notice. Like, you may get like an error in the console. I think that's about it. I love how this stuff just like falls out of the portal when you shut it down. Love it. It's so weird, right? So weird. See, in that time it was fine. No rhyme, no reason, man. No rhyme, no reason. All right, everyone. Let's find someone to raid. Which? Who is playing Vintage Story? Is that Asmongold? Like, I see nothing but, like, his face and then, like, political stuff. And I'm like, why? Why are you bringing up politics, man? I don't want to watch that. Life's depressing as it is. All right, who are we gonna raid? Who are we gonna throw to? Anyone got any suggestions? Who am I following? Do I go with someone I'm already following? Nope, because everyone I'm following, no one's playing Vintage Story. So it's gonna be thrown to a new person. Let's see. Anyone got a suggestion? If not, I will pick, well, their storytelling tree. Thought I followed them. Not. We'll throw it over to storytelling tree, maybe. I can't remember. No, you know what? We'll throw it over to this person, because I've already rated Storytelling Tree before. I know I have. We'll go to the Scalbells person. Looks like they're new to Vintage Story. Alright, everyone. We're going to send the raid their way. Boop. I'm gonna raid and run with this person, but thank you everyone for watching. Making some progress here, making some progress, right? Like things are looking good. I just gotta parse out some tablets, figure some stuff out. The next thing I'm gonna work on is you actually creating your wand, and I want to make the bone variant or like the wood variant. So I got to figure that out. Worst case scenario, I may have to resort to like inventory crafting for this one after creating your core, your rod, your arc light rod. I don't know. I got to think about it though. But all right, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios. See you later. Bye.